y'all. Thank y'all for joining the live. Thank y'all for joining Mama Needa Live 2 live. Y'all, we're so thrilled that you guys were able to make it if you're able to watch this live today because we do have Arkayla. K with the key, okay? And she's a seasoned realtor. So I'm very, very excited to be able to learn the different process on how to purchase a home because I'm tired of renting. I'm tired. I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired. So before we get into it, if y'all can please share this live for us. Please share the live.
Share the live. Share the live.
And also in the comments, let us know where you're watching this live from. So you're in Africa, we want to know. You're in North Carolina, we want to know. I want to know where we watching this at, okay? But don't forget to share the live, y'all, for real. Share the live.
Share the live.
But yes, girl. So me and Arkayla started at Alorica together. That's how I know her. And she is literally, what year did you actually start doing real estate?
2019.
2019.
Yeah.
Okay. So you definitely been in it for a very long time.
Yeah. A lot of people don't last. So.
I'm sorry, y'all. We had somebody saying something to us. I
I
apologize.
they can hear it since we need it.
I want to make sure, can you guys hear us? Can you guys hear us? Just to be certain.
Wait, can it?
Just, I don't understand.
Anybody, any of the 12 people watching, can you hear us? What's going on?
You want to sit it down?
Oh, okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. Thank you.
Okay,
thank you,
y'all.
Robin.
Thank y'all.
All right, so if you guys share the live, again, I appreciate you guys sharing the live so people can watch and learn the process of purchasing a new home because I don't know what the ups and downs are. I don't even know what to start besides coming to the realtor. And
Right.
that's it.
That's
all I know.
That's the right thing to do.
So you did kind of low-key answer the first question. You did say you started realty or real estate in 2019, right?
Yes. So I got started December 2019 is when I actually got licensed. But before that, there's many steps.
Okay.
First you have to, I think you asked me what made me get into it. You want me to answer that?
Right. That was going to be next.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead. We're going to kill two birds in one stone, baby.
Well, to be honest, I needed more money. And real estate was a lucrative path at that moment and at that time. And I knew that I was an organized person. Like, as long as you're organized in real estate, I think you can do it. So if you're thinking about it, I can help. I love to help people. But it was just, I needed more cash. And so real estate was something that I knew that I could do because I was organized and I love to help people.
Right.
So I got into it to educate people, educate myself because I wasn't a homeowner at the time. But once I got licensed in December 2019, 5 months later, I was a homeowner because I learned all the benefits.
Wow. So 5 months later.
5 months later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And during that process, what do you think was the hardest part of becoming a realtor?
Becoming a realtor, I mean, of course, studying, I think I was in class for over a month, 3 nights a week for 5 hours. Besides studying, taking a state exam. Once I actually became a realtor, just so many people wanted to own a home, but people didn't want to do the work that it took, which I understand. When you're young, it's kind of hard. It's like, what? I got to do that?
Right.
You know, I got to discipline myself. So the hardest part was, the hardest part was just people coming to me saying, I want a 5-bedroom house and I want, to live in a mansion, this. And I'm like, okay, so where are you working? Well, I'm not working.
Oh.
Yeah, so that was kind of the hardest part for me, but I never lost patience.
So let me ask you then.
Yeah.
If they ain't got no job with it.
No. I mean, no bank or even, if you went to a family member and you asked for $2,000,
right.
If you have no job or no proof of or means of showing how you're going to pay them back, they're probably going to be like, what?
Right.
Yeah, but if you have a good job and you're getting paid $10,000 a month and you ask for $2,000, it's kind of like, oh, you about to get it back. It's okay.
Right.
So just like that with a bank, they want to have proof, which I'll talk about. They want to be able to see that you can support what you're asking me to give you up front. Because not too many people could walk up and say, here's $500,000. I want this house.
Right.
You need a loan.
Right.
So you need to show I'm good for it. So
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Hello.
yeah.
Well, let me ask you, do you still work with children? I know at one point in time you were still working with children.
So real estate is my side job, is my side hustle.
Okay.
So I do work a 9 to 5 with children. I'm an early Head Start program. So I help families because that's my heart. My passion is helping young moms with children get, stable childcare, and then right after that, help them find work, get back to school, get therapy for their child, things like. So that's my number one passion. Right. And then on the side, because we all need some extra money, I do real estate.
Yes,
and at the same time help people. So I really enjoy both.
Okay, so real estate is something that, like you say, you just want to do it to get in for the money.
That was in the beginning, but now it's bigger than that. It's a passion because a lot of, even myself, I wasn't educated on a lot in just taking the class. I know so many so many things that can actually help our people, and so that's a bigger mission. So it's not only about money. Yes, I do need the money, but it is about making sure our people have the knowledge, because knowledge is power.
And knowledge is key.
Hello. Is key.
Hello.
Kay has the key.
And I was just about to say that. Kay got the key. Okay. So what are the top 3 things a first-time home buyer must have? Like, what is a must-have?
All right. Well, first, we just talked about the fact that if you want to get qualified for a home, you need to show proof that you have the money to pay these people back because they just gave you.
And one second, talk a little louder just in case they can't hear you.
Yes. Sorry. So, when it comes time to buy a home, the mortgage loan officers want to make sure that you can pay them back. So the first step is to come to a realtor, such as myself, and we help you with the process. So number one, you want and need to make sure you have a source of income. A source of income that is consistent. So if you're doing, like, for instance, maybe Uber 2 times a week, you probably wouldn't qualify if that's your only source of income, because you need to show that you have consistent income. You're going to work every day and you're producing a certain amount for the month that can pay the mortgage that you're looking to have.
Right.
So, and not only do we want it to be consistent for a month, 2 months, 6 months, or a year, they want 2 years. Why? A lot of people, you might, start working at Publix for 6 months, you love it, but I want something different. Then you take a break, don't work for 2 months. Then you go work with Amazon, work there for 3 months. Then no lender is going to say, oh, wow, I would love to give you $500,000 because you don't know what you want to do.
Right.
They want to make sure that you are consistent, you are responsible, they can rely on you to pay them back. So they want to see that you've been in the same job or similar fields. So if you make $50,000 at FedEx, but then you switch over and go to UPS and you're making a little more, and you switch within 2 years, that's okay, because it's the same type of field. It's still delivery. It's still the same. So if you're in the medical field and you just switch from
Jackson?
No, I was LPN to another position. They just want to make sure, this person is working on some building, so we can trust. So the first and main thing is a source of income that is consistent and that is suitable and enough to support the mortgage. Because if you're making $15 an hour and you don't have a partner that's also making an amount, it's kind of hard to pay a mortgage for a 3-bedroom that's like $2,300 a month, because you have, your cell phone bill, light bill, car note. So you making $15 an hour on your own may not be able to support that, because you have all other life happening. So they want to make sure that together or by yourself that you can make enough to support your mortgage that you're looking for.
So let me ask you this. When it comes to mortgage, does it depend on, if your credit, of course, that would be your interest rate?
You got it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
I don't know if I'm going to ask it right.
No, go ahead. Let's see. Pop quiz.
Because when you're saying, like, you got to make this amount, how do they determine what's a good amount?
Okay. So and I actually went through credit counseling, which I suggest, and I have information to give to anyone who wants to take a free course on what you should do to start building up to that point. So they want to make sure that your credit score is not just a number. They look at, they actually comb through everything. Like, we see you like to go out to eat. We see this, we see that.
Oh, Lord.
Yes, because
Amazon.
Amazon, yes. So if you are, say for instance, you make $70,000 a year. That's a blessing. $70,000 a year, and your mortgage, but your credit score is 520. So they're going to say, okay, you have the money, but we can't trust you. You know? So you need to make sure that your credit score matches your income. You need to make sure like you're earning high, pay off that debt. Because your credit score is not only going to determine your interest rate, but how much they're willing to give you. Like, you know, I can trust a 5-year-old with $20, but I'm not trusting them with $200.
Right.
Because their level of responsibility is not up to par at that point.
Right.
So your credit score, you want to show that you pay things on time. You pay things off. So, you know, some people, you know, oh, I owe T-Mobile $200, I ain't never getting it. Well, when it comes time, when it comes time to buy a home, they're going to say, well, that you're having all these accounts open, it's not looking good for you. It's looking like you don't complete things. It's looking like, so that number really matters. Although in order to qualify for a home, you only need a 580.
Girl, what?
Yes. However,
you need a what?
Yes,
580.
It's 580. However, the higher the score, the lower the interest rate. So, for instance, if I let you borrow $5 on an interest rate that's at 720, you'll pay me back maybe $7 because I'm like, okay, you're gonna take till Friday to pay me back. I'm only gonna charge you $2. But if your credit score is below, it's like I'm gonna let you borrow 5, but you got to pay me back 12.
Right.
Because
double.
I didn't know, I took a risk on lending this to you, so now I got to charge you more than double. So the lower your credit score, they have to charge you more to borrow because they don't know if they're ever gonna.
And I guess I understand that concept, but it's just like, okay, you know, I'm already struggling.
Yeah.
So you're gonna make me struggle more by giving you more?
Yeah, I
I
totally
don't
get
like
it.
that too
I
much.
guess I totally get what you're saying. I guess the way that they look at it is, okay, if you really want this, show us by improving your credit, paying off that debt. You know, just making sure you're paying your bills on time.
Right.
One way that I make sure that I pay my bills on time, and I tell everybody, even my husband, whenever I get paid, whatever bills are due for the next 2 weeks, I know it hurts, just pay them. The reason why, because you'll never be late. And then the next time you get paid, whatever's due for the next 2 weeks, pay it. So then you're putting yourself on a budget at that point because you don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, is my T-Mobile bill going to come out next week? I don't know if I could go buy this meal or go buy these jeans because I don't know when the bill, you know. But if you make sure it's paid those 2 weeks, you don't have to worry about. And that's just if, you know, financially, if you're able to try not to ever miss a payment because you do get judged. They judge you because they look at, you know, is delinquent and they wonder, this is the biggest payment you're ever going to have to pay in your life. You know, we need to see that you're responsible enough to pay on time, pay in full, and your credit score tells that story. So, but I know, and the good thing about what you say, you know, you see me already struggling. Why would you, you know? And then so that's where the first time home buyer program comes in. I hope that's not one of your questions.
You know, you can touch on that because I was going to ask, like, is there any assistant programs? But before you get into it, can we go to the comments?
Oh, okay.
Thank you for the stars in the comments. So we have a question from All Hell Savage. Do you have info for buying land to purchase a manufactured home and place on that land?
Do I have information for
buying land to purchase a manufactured home and place on that land?
Actually, my business partner has, I don't know if it's sold yet, but as of like last week, yes. When it comes to purchasing land, it works the same way. You need to make sure you have the, you know, your consistent income. You need to make sure that you have your, you know, your good credit score and things like that. Once you have land, you can do literally whatever you want with it. Literally whatever you want. So if you want to put a manufactured home on that land, you have access to doing that. But that manufactured home is actually another loan, I would assume. So that's like
2 loans.
Yes. So but I'd love to, after this, if you inbox me, I'd love to help you figure it out.
And that answers the next question. Okay.
Right. And I also want to say I did attach her links to this live. So the 3 links that you are seeing on this live, you can contact her via Instagram, via Facebook, or also the website that you did give to me. I don't know the name of it. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's the Core Real Estate.
Yes. So if you want to reach out to her, you need help purchasing a home, everything is there for you guys. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, so that answers Mama question. Hey, Mom.
So the thing is that as a realtor, my job is mostly the footwork. And what I mean is writing up the contracts, making sure you got your paperwork in order. But to be honest, the person who is like my road dog, the mortgage loan officer is the one that does all the numbers. So once someone comes to me and says, I want to buy a house, I don't see how much you make. I don't see where your credit. I don't see any of that. I send you to them because I want it to be a level of. I want you to know that you can trust that we're gonna work out and make this work because you want it to work, and I'm gonna do my part. You know. So once you come to me, you say, I want to purchase a home. You by yourself, you and your grandma, you and your brother, whoever it is. I send you to the mortgage loan officer. His job is to collect all your documents. So you're going to need to show your W-2s. You're going to need to show your income tax for the past 2 years. So W-2s, income tax for the past 2 years.
How many years?
2 years.
2 years, okay.
Yes. And then they're going to want to see your bank statement. So they do want to see how you spending. Yes, they get all up in it.
All the bank statements? Like
for the past 3 months.
Every bank?
3 months.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the more income you can show, the better if you're looking for a bigger property.
Okay.
So, yeah. So they look through all of that. They look through your credit reports to see, okay, what has been closed recently? Like, are you the type that every time you go to Nike or wherever you're trying to get a credit card? Like, they're looking at everything and they tell you how to improve, which is great.
Okay.
But he receives all that and he comes up with a number. So he'll say, look, right now we can qualify you for a 5-bedroom house this much. But if you pay this off and if you wait 2 months, we can get you 6 bedrooms. So they do all of that and work it out with you based on everything. My job is to keep you encouraged. Because I've become a counselor, a sister, everything in that process. But to keep you encouraged because it's not easy. It's the biggest. Buying a car is stressful, you know? So imagine buying the biggest thing that you'll ever buy. It is going to be not easy, but I'm there to hold your hand, to encourage you, to remind you why you started, to remind you, hey, you forgot to sign something, or whatever the case may be. So the mortgage loan officers are the one that does all the numbers. I don't deal with numbers. I deal with writing the contract, opening the door, showing you the units, making sure you get that key.
Okay, I like that. And what it is. I did want to ask, hopefully I did not forget the question. Oh, you got another question? Go ahead, ask and I'll think about it.
No problem.
How long does the housing programs want you to be on your job? Is it 2 years or more?
2 years is the minimum. I do work with a mortgage loan officer that will do a year and a half. But remember, their job is to find you the best loan that they can. So they're working with all these banks, Banks of America, Wells Fargo, all the banks. And so they might say, okay, I have Miss Misha here who's been working 3 years, making this much, blah, blah, blah. And they'll say, okay, we'll take her. But another bank might say, no, we want a little bit more work history. We want a little bit more. So a year and a half works for some people. I tell people 2 years to be safe.
Right.
Once you give them 2 years, nobody's going to deny you if you make that money and you're having that credit score.
Yes,
so 2 years is what I would say. So that way you're not prematurely going into it.
Right. And I did remember the question. So I remember like when we worked at Alorica, I would get some people for DirecTV. They just probably, I don't know if they close on the house exactly, but I remember them saying, hey, I can't run my credit because I just, I'm signing for a house. So how does that work? No, nothing.
Yeah. Well, no, not like once you start. So what they're talking about is, say for instance, we got you qualified, you're approved, everything, and we see this beautiful house in Pinecrest. That's 7 bedrooms. Yes, girl, we're going to speak it.
Yes, hello.
7 bedrooms, 7 bath, all of that. And then you're in contract, meaning that the person that's selling the house agreed, I'm selling it to Miss Misha. You agreed, I'm not buying no other house. Is this, you both put money down.
Right.
At that point, we have to do inspection. We have to do all types of processes. In that time, you don't want to run your credit by anything because at closing, the day of, they have to make sure you didn't quit your job. You didn't go buy a Lamborghini or any of that, because on the day of, you promised these people something and now you don't have it on the day of. So you can't run your credit. You can't do anything because now on that last day, you won't get your house because you went and did something, and your credit score went down 1 point.
I would cry.
Yes.
Has that happened?
Not to me, thank God.
Oh, thank God.
Oh no, I'm very like, don't even.
Die.
No, I'm talking about don't even swipe a credit card for Chick-fil-A. I know you love it, but don't even swipe your credit card because at that point you could have been so close to, the amount that you owed on the credit card was. You have $1,000 limit, and then they want you below 30%, which is the ideal, but 2024. But say if you owe $990 on that card, but now you went and bought $30 worth of Chick-fil-A, you're over your limit, which takes your credit score down, and now on the last day when it's time to get your key, you're below.
Right.
So that can affect you. So that's why.
So don't do nothing.
When you're under contract, no.
Don't do nothing.
No.
Okay.
But I wrote down some examples just to give some people an idea. I do know that a lot of people, well, it might be in your question, they're like, what? I can't, 2023, 2024 now, it's impossible to buy a house. And I just want to encourage people, it is not, for a few reasons. Number one, 2023 is the worst year interest rate wise in history. Like the sales that we just experienced, the interest rates is the worst in history.
Can you give an example of
yes.
what was one of the highest?
Yeah, so right now the interest rate, as of today, because I listen to real estate forums and meetings and things like that, but the current interest rate right now is 6.7. Back in 2020, maybe let's say 2019, before COVID, interest rates were normally around 3.4 point something.
Oh, Lord.
So the amount that you're paying to loan is a little bit more right now, but 8% was back in the day. Nobody complained, But this is high to a lot of people,
right? Because they used to be 3. I would prefer a 3%.
Exactly.
Than
Yes.
A 6
but last year was the worst because COVID threw everything off. A house that you would normally get, a 3-bedroom house, you would normally get for what, $300,000. Now it's like $450,000 for the same house. So people are like, "What? I'm not paying this amount for the same house." I understand that, but this is my thing that I want to tell to the world. Rent is not going down
at all, because mine just went up like 2 months ago.
Yes. So that's and it's heartbreaking. Even me, I got lucky during COVID to close on a house, but that's because of the situation I was in, and I just happened to be prepared and I took advantage. But I just want to encourage everybody that rent is not going down. If you're not fortunate enough to have a program that's helping you, you need to look into buying, because every 6 months or every year, your landlord has that opportunity to just say, here's a notice, you take it or you leave. Literally, Now, the good thing about having a mortgage is that it stays the same forever, for 30 years.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yes. So once you sign on the dotted line, this is my house, I'm going to be paying back this amount every month, it doesn't change. What does change is insurance. So we're in Miami. There's flood insurance that we have to have. So flood insurance, depending on if there's a major hurricane, the next year they might take your flood insurance high to recoup their money.
So it's like a car insurance.
Just like that. So there's homeowners insurance, there's car insurance, I'm saying car insurance, sorry. There's homeowners insurance, flood insurance, things like that. Those fluctuate, but your mortgage, the amount that you're paying back to the bank, will not change. And that's a blessing, because if you can count on, like, this is where I'm going to be, that's great. But I had somebody call me, and I cried with her, because she had children, and I didn't understand, like, what? How could somebody do this? Her rent was $1,800. They were taking it to $2,600. To me, that's impossible. That's like you're telling me I'm about to be homeless, because I could either pay my car note or feed my kids. I can't, you know what I'm saying?
I can't do both.
Yes. So thankfully, I was able to help her. We had to help her find a place, a temporary first, and then eventually help her with that. But your mortgage will never do that to you.
Right. So that's what it is.
It's consistent.
Which I like.
Yes.
I want to ask a question. Robin did ask a question before this one. She said she made a statement saying she wished she were in South Carolina. So do you do?
Well, I am fully licensed in the whole state of Florida. So if you know anyone that needs help in the state of Florida, I can help. But if you are in South Carolina, we know people all over the nation. So I can connect you with someone who I'll make sure that they take care of you in South Carolina. But no, I am only licensed in Florida, because I can't see myself flying back and forth to South Carolina to close. Not as of yet,
okay, gotcha.
But it's coming.
Because the papers and stuff. Okay.
Yeah, every state has different licensing. And some people are licensed in multiple states because they do that full time. I'm not there yet.
Right.
But yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
How does it work?
Yellow X, so no flood zones, I guess.
Hey, Melinda.
Hi, Melinda.
I know Melinda, well, not from PRC, from high school, actually.
Okay.
And Melinda has been interested in the past about home buying. So to answer your question, Melinda, when it comes to 401k, and I actually was looking to access my 401k during COVID, and it was a very slow process. So, but then that actually blessed me, because the money that I was going to take from my 401k, the lenders and everyone wound up giving me like $8,000 worth of money, so I never had to touch it. I know that was just the Lord.
Right.
Listen, the Lord. So as far as your 401k, is actually not even your job to have to stress that. You just contact your 401k manager, Oh, elementary school. You're right, Melinda. Elementary.
Right, that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
And Yellow, I promise we're gonna go to your questions. Can we get Yellow questions?
Yes.
Wait, are you finished?
No,
with your
I'm almost
statement?
finished.
Finish
So
your statement.
401k, you contact your 401k manager, let them know what you're looking to do. They give you a document that says that you're going to do a withdrawal. You give that document, because it's actual cash money, to your mortgage lender to say, hey, here's my bank statements to show my money. Here's my credit score. Here's my proof that can y'all laugh? Here's my proof that I have money in 401k.
Right.
So Melinda, hit me up tomorrow. Let's talk.
Hello.
Yes.
Go ahead, Melinda. The
Okay,
link's there
please.
too. Okay.
Yellow. Let's help Yellow.
Let's go up. Scroll up to Yellow.
Yellow
All
asks,
his-
what about putting down 2,000? If you put down
20K?
20K.
20K?
I mean, 20K. I'm sorry, Yellow. 20K.
Okay, so you can put down 20,000. If you're not giving 100%, they're still gonna want to see everything. Is that his question? Because if you can put down 20,000, it's then you'll be under a conventional loan rather than an FHA. So an FHA loan is mostly for first time home buyers, where they understand that you're new to this, you're not true to this yet.
Right.
So they're gonna give you a lower interest rate at 3.5%. They're gonna understand that your credit is not perfect. Your interest rate is just a little bit higher, just because you're new to this and they don't know where they can trust you. But when you come to a point to where you can put down 20%, that's amazing. Because 3.5% of 485 grand, let's just say if there's a 3-bedroom house or 4-bedroom house for 485, 3.5% of that is 16,000. So putting down 20,000 is not that much more. But if you're putting down 20,000 on a smaller or less expensive house, then that might make a big difference for you. But either way, they still want to make sure you're working. They still want to make sure your credit score is up to par. If you're not borrowing 0%, they want to see how you're going to pay them back, even if it's 2%. But if you're putting down 20%, that does affect you, because now you're borrowing less money. Your mortgage will be lower, obviously, things like that. But I would love to help you, Yellow. Inbox me.
We get in the house.
We got thumbs up. We got thumbs up.
Did he have another question?
Oh, is he a chef?
Yeah.
From down here?
That's Yellow.
Oh.
Yeah, but he does cook. So you
Invite me
never.
over for dinner.
Oh, you heard that? We have a couple that can come. Okay,
Yeah.
A married couple. He have any other questions? Want to make sure we touch all his questions.
I believe it was for when we were talking about the flood insurance. So he said no flood zones. Do you still have to get that insurance?
In Florida, the laws have changed. I think everybody's in the flood zone.
Right.
Yeah.
I know Florida
Everybody's
City
in
is.
Florida.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to.
Because honestly, Florida is, everyone says underwater, and they say we're below sea level, and that we're going to be underwater. I mean, Lord, cover us. But
Right.
Yes, everywhere in Florida, especially with all these hurricanes happening, our insurance keeps going up.
Oh Lord, yes, Lord.
Yes.
Oh God. He said scroll up. He has more questions before we move to the next one.
And he's supposed to be asleep.
No, the game is on. He's watching the game right now.
Oh, that's why. That's sweet.
Can I work a low-paying job and be able to get a house of some sort?
Yes, I actually brought some. Well, this is not for home buying. I just brought it because I just got this memo today. Yes, there is a program called Habitat for Humanity. If anyone knows about that, I know briefly some about it. But yes, you do have an opportunity if you're not earning as much as you'd like and you have a larger family size. Habitat for Humanity, and I can give you information on that. They're a program that assists mostly single moms, but families that are lower income, but they do have a consistent income, and they can show that they are, they're able to pay some, but just not a whole bunch. And Habitat actually builds the home with you, for you.
That's what I'm going to say.
But you have to help other people build their homes, and you have to go to courses and things like that. So there is hope. And also, because I just love helping people, the public notice came out today. If you know anyone that may need, I help. Not only do I help people with home buying, if you're not quite ready to purchase a home, I help people with renting out private units. So if you're looking to rent out a condo, a townhouse, or a single family home until you are ready to make that choice. For instance, nowadays we have like 2-3 families living together because it's impossible to afford to live alone. So if right now if you're in a situation where you just need a place where you, your girl, your kids, your aunt, your mom, and you're not ready to home buy, you're ready to find a home and build up to that, I can help you. I help people find rentals. I help people with Section 8. I help people who I just help people. Everyone needs a place to live. So I don't work with apartments. Well, they don't work with me. Hi, Angela. Apartment complexes have their own leasing offices. So they don't really work with realtors because they make their money off getting you on their own. So apartment complexes don't need help getting people to move in because you just see the sign, you go in, you get help. But if you see a nice house that says for rent, usually that's a realtor that's posting that to help that homeowner find a good tenant. So I'm the one that will help you as a good tenant to prove to them, hey, I have a good paying job. Me, my mom, and my girl, we make enough to pay. Our credit score is good. And I'm the one that puts all that together for you and shows you the unit and gets you approved. So I help people with rentals as well. So I can help you. But today, Section 8 released a memorandum letting people know that as of February 5th, the waiting list will open back up. So I do understand that everyone cannot become a homeowner right now. Right. But if you can qualify for a program like Section 8, please apply. Right. Ms. Misha will share this information with you later. I'll also post it on my stories.
Yes, I like that. I just need it for me, really.
Hey.
I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm gonna attach it.
Yeah.
So I do want to ask, just to estimate, how many homes have you sold to Black families? And I'm gonna tell you the reason why I'm asking that first.
Yes.
A lot of Black families, like you normally see a lot of other colored families, always have the big houses. Yes. Thankfully, a lot of Black families now are actually getting into it, purchasing home, which I'm always excited to see. When people post a picture like, oh, I just bought my first home, and they're Black. So
it's It's encouraging, it's motivating. So to be honest, all of my clients have been Black and brown.
Ooh,
all of my clients have been, and I wonder if it's. I ask myself the same question. Is it because they feel comfortable?
Right.
Because a lot of times it's scary, like going to a bank and it's like, these people going to throw me out of here,
All the way out.
Yes. Well, actually, a client that I had 2 years ago, she was actually a white girl named Katie, but her partner was Black. But she found me on Instagram, just following me, and she loved my style, and I think that also because she felt comfortable. But all of my clients have been Black and brown, and it's maybe because they feel like they can come to me like, I'm down to earth. I'm not a person who's going to judge, because I understand. I was there too. I was raised in I used to live in the projects. Okay, my mom had 9 kids.
Okay,
so
I never knew that.
Yes, my mom had 9 kids. We were raised very poor, so I would never judge someone's beginning. It's just where do you want to go? If you want to become a homeowner, I don't care if it takes us 5 years. Right. I'm gonna hold your hand and be your partner. So I do have a lot of patience because I see. People want to become homeowners, but they don't know how, and they're afraid to bring up the subject because they feel defeated. Like, oh, that's a big thing. Oh,
right.
Oh, wow.
And also embarrassed, I think, like, especially when you hear, like, home, credit, you know what I mean?
Yes. But to be honest, you're already paying your bills. You're paying your rent, because if not, you would have been out.
Hello.
So it's literally the same thing, but it is a commitment. Because with rent, you could be like, you know what, we're moving all our stuff out, we're not paying the last month. Which you don't want to do. But as a homeowner, it's kind of like, if you don't pay your mortgage, it's like, hey, all of that you invested is going to go away. They're going to resell it to someone else. So it is a commitment, and it is something that you really want to make sure that you are serious about.
Right.
But the benefits, I think you asked something about, you see more and more people doing it.
A lot now. And
the reason why is because you say a lot of times you see a lot of people that are not Black and brown getting their house, and that's why.
Because I'm used to driving
through those neighborhoods.
Right.
Yes.
As a young child, my dad, we didn't live in the projects, but we lived in a good neighborhood, but we lived in an apartment.
Okay.
And in that neighborhood, you got surrounded by big ass houses.
Yeah.
To the left and the right, and I'm like, dang. And I'll go spend a night at my friend's house, who was white at the time. They had a big, beautiful house.
Yes.
So
one thing that I've learned is that because of that fear of not knowing, because we all know a lot of things were hidden from us as a people for many, many years, they had the knowledge to know about building generational wealth,
Right.
and building equity. So they knew, and just to let everyone know, the number one way to build equity in America and build generational wealth is property.
Right.
Because once you buy property, you could build a casino right here,
Hello.
your house right here, a laundromat, and all those bring you in money. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just to be, just like a crazy thing to
Or
throw
even
out.
if you purchase the home, you can actually rent it
it
out
out
and make more money.
hmm And then you take, and so what a lot of people are doing is they're buying, let's just say, one house, right? And then your mortgage is $2,000, but you're renting it out to these people for $2,500. Now you're making $500 on that,
yes.
right? So then now that $500 could have been your car payment, whatever. A year or two goes by, your house has gained equity. What is equity? Equity is when your house is building value as you're doing nothing.
Just
It could be
doing
empty.
nothing. Okay.
You're just building, because everything's going up anyway. So gas goes up, food goes up, your house value will go up. Now you can go back to the bank and say, my house has made this much money, I want to take it out. So now your house that you bought for 300 grand is worth 400 grand. So that's 100 grand that you have in equity where you could say, you know what, I need this 100,000, I want to buy another house.
Oh, wow. See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean,
So then now you're still paying your mortgage, and now you bought this new house for 100 grand, but now you're about to rent that house out and make more. And then you wait another year.
Hello.
And so that's why you see other people, you know, my friends had these big houses, and all it's because they understood and they were taught. We didn't have it at first, like I said. But now that we know, it's like, come on. And the trust is a big thing, because you might have the money and the good credit, and you're like, who can I trust that's going to actually, you know, can I do this with my sister? Can I do this with my mom? Can I do it? And so a lot of times they did it. You know, they went in business with their sister, and everybody, you know, held their end of the, you know.
Thankfully.
So we need to, as a people, just build that trust and just know that that's the way that we're going to, you know, by myself, you know, before I met my husband, by myself, it was hard to qualify, but I made it, you know. But then I rented out rooms in the house because I needed more income. So you don't only have to just buy a house and like, oh my God, I'm stuck with this mortgage. You can buy a house and vet out some people and make sure they don't have a background and they're clean or whatever, and you can rent out rooms in the house. You can move out, live with a boyfriend, rent out the whole house. Either way, it's gonna make you money because you own it. So some people buy houses and don't live in them. They just rent out like a duplex or whatever the case is. So there's many different ways to make money with property, but that's how people build generational wealth. They are buying property, using the money they make from that property, buy another property, and keep just looking for property, because why not? Now you don't have to work no more because the rent is paying.
And my dad, this is a funny story, because he used to live in Florida, but he moved to Texas, and he's purchased 2 homes in Texas. The first one he told me, he was like, you know, I wish I would have known. I could have, instead of sell, I believe he sold it, and because he got another home, a bigger home. He was like, I wish I would have known, because my mortgage is only $1,000. Daddy, you say what now?
In Texas?
In Texas. That's what his mortgage was. And he had a nice home. I don't know, it's probably, let me count, probably 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 or 3, probably 4 bedrooms or 3. I don't know, but I know it had an office. He was like, he's only paying 1 band. I'm like, Dad, I would have loved to take that over.
Like, for real.
Instead of paying, because that's less than what I pay in my apartment. You know what I mean? So I'm like, dang, that's a, you know, I thought it would have been like, you know, 2,000, 2,500, 1,000, and you had a backyard and a fence and a nice neighborhood. Baby, you cannot beat that.
You can't beat it.
You can't.
No, that's
you
awesome.
Can't.
But yeah, I've been told never sell property unless it's an emergency or like you have no other choice.
Right.
So because it's always gonna it's always gonna be beneficial.
Are there any assistant programs that can help? I know you did say the Habitat. That's one.
Habitat is one. There's a bunch. I can't even take the time to name all of them.
Okay.
But I can say, inbox me. I'd love to connect you.
Okay.
There's a lot. Like people talk about MD and NACA. Those programs, especially after COVID, are a bit slower now because funding. But those are funded programs by the government. So you do have to put a lot more work into them. But they do work if you work. A lot of people, they want it, but they don't want to get up every Saturday morning for 3 hours for 6 months.
Right.
But that's what it takes. Or you don't want to, you know, attend the 8-hour course on a Saturday. But listen, these are things that I did.
Right.
Because I was serious about it.
And
I wanted to learn. I wanted to see. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it does pay off.
It was a long question. You want to read it?
Uh-oh.
It was long. It was like an essay. I'm sorry. I just had to make sure we get to that.
No, that could be a serious question.
And whoever sent the stars, I'm sorry. Thank you for the stars. I'm gonna scroll up. Just let us know so I can thank you personally for the stars. It's like a real long one. But that's good. You really touch a lot of points. I appreciate it.
Well,
I really do.
I'm here for that. I love to tell you your first time, unless it's in Texas. Have you visited?
Yes, I actually lived in Texas. My high school. I moved to Texas like 11th grade year, or maybe 10th grade going. Yeah, I was like 10th grade, and I came back to Florida. I love Texas. I worked there. It's big. It's fast. The economy.
Which part?
Houston.
Okay,
Houston,
that's the part that they
Texas.
say is for black people.
Yes, girl. Okay.
We gotta visit that.
You do. The food, when I say the food, like Florida, you can go get a steak or something or whatever, or ribs and pay almost $50 for that plate at a nice place. Mm-hmm. And you can go to Texas and get triple the food for a lower amount.
Really?
Yes. Like the food they do not play in Texas. The quality. Good. Hello.
Okay.
Y'all gotta go.
Yeah.
you got to
know
go.
we'll be gone, so we'll visit.
For sure. What the comments did?
I guess you delete it because I don't see it.
You don't see it?
No, I don't.
Dang.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Please inbox me. I love to answer your questions.
Mm-hmm.
So we was kind of talking about the market, like you did say the difference in the percentage.
Yes.
So I don't know if you really, because I wanted to ask how bad is the market?
Yeah. Okay. So last year, like I said, it was pretty bad because the amount of people wanting to buy was this much, but the amount of houses was this much because you sell your house, but where you moving to? Because it's so expensive. So so many people wanted to buy. There wasn't the demand was high, but the amount of houses was low. So that's what drove the interest rate up. So like I said, that was the worst in history. So it's only way to go but up.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to everything improving.
Right.
As everything like shifts back into place.
I pray.
Yeah, honestly, I hear so many people saying,
it's crazy.
I want the market to crash so I can finally buy me a house. That's not going to happen. I just want to let people know. Yeah, a lot of people.
Like they waiting. They're going to press that button.
Yeah, because if you think about it, the market crashing helps nobody. So everyone's going to do what it takes to not have that happen. And, most of these millionaires and billionaires, they own a lot of things. They're not going to, and the economy.
Right. It's gas, everything is just groceries. Like groceries.
Yes.
It's sad.
Yeah, it's really, really hard.
Thank you, Yellow. Thank you.
It?
Yellow found it.
Oh, okay.
So what happens with change of industry? I had a 12-year tenure in the telecom industry and recently switched to finance industry, but more income. How much tenure do you recommend before starting this process? What about first-time home buyers wanting investment properties? For example, duplexes. Live on one side and rent the other. Is that possible if you do first-time home buyers?
That's just sounding like gibberish.
No,
you understand
I understand everything.
Okay.
So that's awesome that you were 12 years.
I thought I read it. Oh,
no. The fact that you were with a 12-year career and then you jumped, that's okay. What matters is, was there a break in between? So if you took no breaks and you went straight in, that 12 years might be okay because you're showing consistency. So I'd love to help you out with that. Yes, first-time home buyers, you're buying a whole unit. So if you're looking to buy it wouldn't be considered a duplex then, it would be a fourplex because it would have 2 units or more. Yes, first-time home buyers does allow you. It just depends on how much you're putting down, how much you're making. So that is an option. A lot of first-time home buyers actually do that, which is smart. You buy a duplex, you live on one side, rent out the other one, and let them pay for your mortgage.
You live for free.
Yes. So you also asked how much time would I recommend before you jump into that process. If you had no breaks in employment, I think it's a good time for you because 12 years, that speaks for itself.
Yeah.
More income. So that shows growth every step of the way. So I think it is a good time for you to just start, looking into things and to see where you stand and go from there.
Right.
And I hope that answered your question.
I think it did. And again,
all the questions.
Arkayla's links are on this live, so you do need to contact her later on tonight. Well, don't get up tonight. Tomorrow, please. You know, if you if you do want to purchase a home or get more information, please, the links are located on the live.
You can also feel free to send me a text. I know most people, they want direct answers, questions answered. My business number is 786-386-0821. Repeating, 786-386-0821. If you don't get an answer tonight, it's because I've been at work all day, cleaning, cooking, and then here. But I will respond always within 24 hours. But yeah, you can hit me up. If you just want to follow me and see if I'm legit, go to my Instagram, K has the key. Also on Facebook, K has the key. Or if you're already my Facebook friend, you can inbox me, hit me up. I got you. But I'm just here because I want people to gain knowledge. It's not about I'm ready to buy a house now or next year or the year after. I just want to know, can I actually do this? What if one day I want to? And so I just want to help people understand we all are capable. You're paying rent right now. You're paying your car note. Everything that's important to you, make sure you pay it. Your housing is on that list. And I'm just here to help you win in that way.
One thing, these apartments don't care about us. They don't. And we need something that is going to be stable for our kids. Because when I leave the earth, I want to make sure my kids have a home that they can lay their head no matter what.
Yes.
And if I leave it, making sure I'm leaving it to my kids, they can do whatever they want. But hopefully, I'm hoping that they're going to make more money, and then they can be somebody's landlord. You know what I mean? And that's a job for them.
Yeah.
So, hello.
So purchasing a home, like Miss Misha just pointed out, is not only for yourself, but you're
family.
providing stability for yourself as well as your children. So when you pass on, they can, make money from it. They have a place to live, can do literally anything with it. And so that's generational wealth. So that's leaving something behind. And that's the easiest way to do it. I mean, not easy, but it's the best way to do it because you can live in it. You're not double paying. You're living in it and making money while you're living in it.
Right. And my mom, hi, mommy. Serena PM, she asks, what is the number again?
786-386-0821. And that can also be found on any of my pages, K has the key. But feel free to send me a text, and I'd love to talk to you.
Yesenia Dunn, thank you.
Yep.
She's on point. Thank you.
That's actually one of my clients. I love her.
Yes, she did write K has the key. Yes, she did.
Yes, she was actually, I just sold her house last year.
Oh, congratulations.
Big, beautiful house, yes.
So how has that been for you, Yesenia? If you want to write in the comments, let us know. Are you still enjoying your home?
Was it a good decision? Did I do a good job?
Are you looking to relocate, get a bigger house? Let us know, girl. And I guess this last one, I think you kind of touched on it, is when will you consider to be the perfect time to purchase a home for the first time?
Now.
Hello.
And no, the reason why is because a lot of people are waiting, but what's happening?
Nothing.
Rates still going up and down. Everything's getting more expensive. So the more you wait, the more you're going to pay.
Right.
So, and honestly, during COVID, like I said, I got lucky. And I closed on my house in 14 days because the market, nothing was moving. So when they saw somebody that qualified, it was like, oh, she has a good job. She's been saving. Her credit is good. They worked harder than me to get the house. So that was just God, like I said.
Right.
But it just happened to be a good time. Right now is the best time because interest rates and everything could check in 6 months. Everything is like $50,000 more dollars. And you're like, wow, I should have. And a lot of times we always with the shoulda, coulda, woulda. So right now, if you're making a good income, if your credit is looking okay, if you have someone you can trust that you can go into partnership with, or if you can do it alone, this is the time. Like, I'm not just saying that. This is the time, and you'll be thankful that you did.
Right.
Yeah.
Or start fixing your credit.
Yes.
So you can work towards it. Start looking into it. This is the first step. You guys watching the live.
Yes. About fixing credit. A lot of people come to me and they have everything but the credit. I do have some people that I refer out to, and I'm thinking about actually learning to fix credit myself because I have so many people who don't trust other people. They just trust me.
Yeah.
And it's like, I might have to learn how to fix credit so I can help my people because that's the one barrier. Like, imagine someone making $80,000 and you can't get,
But
yeah, I mean, to you it's like $80,000 on your credit back because
they bought some expensive crap.
No, but you making 80 grand now. Last year or 2 years ago, you may have made 40 grand, and you know you may have let that Capital One credit card just I'm not. You forgot you even had it.
Right.
But a lot of people don't go back and correct what's messed up in their credit. So you're making 80 grand. Try to go back and pay people back.
Right.
Or call and negotiate. Hey, I know I owe you 2 grand, but I got 1 grand. What's up?
Right.
And a lot of times they meet you in the middle. And they'll let you do that and take it off your credit.
So I don't even think I asked this question. So if you have things on your credit, right, and you promise to pay, your credit isn't that bad, but you're promising to pay them, but you have things on your credit. Can you still get a home?
Promising to pay who?
Any credit loan, like any T-Mobile, AT&T, like let's just
say.
No,
a promise to pay means nothing.
A payment plan.
Yeah.
Nothing. So if you got...
Oh, a payment plan. Okay.
Yeah, that's probably what I should say.
But if it's on your credit, it's still looking bad because you didn't do it up front. You're now trying to correct it. So it looks better when you finish paying it off.
Okay.
So a payment plan is looking like, okay, just another bill, but probably worse.
Right.
Because, yeah. Okay. So it's always best to look good on all fronts. Pay everything.
Yeah. Do anybody have any more questions before Miss Arkayla goes? Because we did go over.
We did?
Yeah, we did.
Wow. We talked for a whole hour.
Right, and it don't feel that way.
I'll talk a lot now, Jay.
Like I said, thank you so much for coming to give us the insight on what we should be doing. And I want to congratulate you and your husband on your new marriage. Girl, hello. So you kind of got to, before we go, guys, I'm sorry, because she did kind of say something. How did you guys meet? Can you tell us?
Through business.
How? Tell me.
Real estate. So, yeah,
he's there, guys. You can't see him.
So, my husband actually, by trade, does photography.
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone needs any photos, I gotta shout my husband out.
Right.
Anyone needs any photo shoots, birthday parties, graduation, whatever you need, drone footage, anything, hit me up for that too. I'll connect you. So he's a businessman. So he wrote me in my DMs and he was like, "Hey, how are you? I see that you're pretty active on here, and I just want to get into real estate photography." Mm-hmm. So I told him what to do. I was like, "Hey, yeah." I don't know if that was his line. But,
I ain't never heard that before.
That was a good one, though.
That was a good one.
Gotcha.
He was like, "I want to get into doing photography, but for real estate. Can you guide me?"
Right.
And this is how I knew that he was about his business, because I told him, "Yes, do this, and get back to me."
And he did.
Less than a week later, he wrote me that email back. He did this. He was like, "Can you connect me?" Blah, blah, blah. And he actually, I was wearing a sunflower shirt one day, which was my favorite flower. And he was like, "Hey," we became Facebook friends after that and was liking each other's stuff, whatever. But he was like, "Oh, your shirt, like, something about a sunflower field." He's like, "I'm doing an event there tomorrow if you want to come." I went. That was it.
So
sunflowers are my favorite flower, and I didn't know. Did you guys know there was a sunflower field on 216?
No.
Berry Farm.
I heard. Yeah, I heard about that a while ago, but I forgot.
Take great photos there.
Yes. So he does a lot of his photo shoots in the sunflower field, and that's where we didn't talk about business at all that day.
Right. I bet.
I know you did.
I know. We were just, and I got a free photo shoot that day. So
free
photo shoot for life.
I love that. Yes.
But, yeah. So that's from that day. Like, we just kept dating, and it grew into this.
Into a marriage. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you so much.
I'm so happy for you.
Thank
the
you so
journey too, like everything.
Yes.
For real.
Yes. I've been through the struggle, girl.
Yes, ma'am. Well, we gonna see
tell
our way
people,
through it.
trust in him. Mm-hmm. It's the only way.
And Robin did say thank you, right, on there before we go?
I don't know. It's not there.
I think she said thank you. She needed that information.
She said she closed in her house in 13 days.
Robin,
and that it was the best decision she had ever made.
Congratulations, Robin.
As in space for
No,
the
not
kids.
Robin. That was your person.
Oh.
Yes, Yesenia. I don't know.
Oh, yes, Yesenia.
Yeah, she said 13.
Yep, 13. We beat mine with hers. 13 days we closed. So if you need it to happen quick, or if you need 2 years, I got you.
Yes, ma'am. Well, Mom, yes, we do know I know you love your sunflowers, Mom. Girl, I'm gonna get you some, okay? But everybody, I want to thank y'all so much for tuning in to Mama Needa Live podcast live, y'all. We are gonna be live again on Monday, every Monday, y'all. Just come check us out. Come check us out, okay? All right, but we about to go. Peace. And I don't have to get up today.